I have this really great Lightboard that I use all the time. I love it, but there are ways to do it yourself to make a Lightboard with just what you have at home that will work for the very same purpose. There are occasions when we foundation piece and we need to be able to see the fabric that's on the underside of our foundation paper. Remember, whenever we foundation piece, we sew on the marked side, but our fabric is on the unmarked side. The first piece that we place is critical in order to make sure that that block squares up accurately and we have the 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around piece number 1. I have this really great Caterpillar Glow Lightboard that I use all the time. I love it. It's very easy for me to see what's underneath. As you can see, when you turn it off, it's a little more difficult. Now I have dark fabric under here, but if you have a white or a light fabric, it is almost impossible to see. But when you turn that light on, then it illuminates the edges as well as the paper. The light comes through the paper and you're able to see that background fabric. But maybe you don't want to spend the money on a Lightboard. This is always an issue. There are so many tools that we use in quilting that can be quite expensive, but there are ways to do it yourself to make a Lightboard with just what you have at home that will work for the very same purpose. So let's try it. All you need to accomplish this task is some kind of a container. You can either use, this is just one of those project containers, an art bin that I bought at Joann's. You can get them at Walmart, or you can just use the lid. If you have a lid to one of your bins, as long as it's clear, light can come through it. This will work as well. I'm going to show you with my art bin. All you need for this project is some kind of a see-through plastic. It has to be raised up a bit, and then you need a light source. I'm just going to use my cell phone here. So I've turned my light source on, and I'm going to place it so that the light is pretty much in the center of my board. Okay? Now, I tried 2 different ways. I wasn't quite sure which way would work best. The first way that I tried, I placed the light down here at the bottom. I'm going to dim the lights so you can see the spread that you're going to have when it comes to your light. And that's a pretty good distance there. So we know that if we place our foundation piece on top of that lit area, and we are also going to place the fabric underneath it, we've got a pretty good light source there. As you can see, that shows up. It's not really bright, but it really does show up, and it will show up when we have lighter fabrics as well. It also works. Now here I have a light fabric, and I'm going to place my foundation pattern on top of that. Look, you can still see. So this really does work. Again, it's not super bright, but it's bright enough to let us see where we want to position that fabric. Then I wondered, should I move my light up closer to the paper? Or what if my box isn't this large? Maybe I have a very skinny box, or maybe I am just using a lid. So we'll take the light out, and I'm going to place the lid on top instead. Now again, you can see right there, look at how much less we have when it comes to the scope of the light, just because this is really down low. If you're using the lid, you need to have it up higher, just like I did with the edges of that quilting box, my project box. So I just, in my sewing room, I've got a couple of stacks of fat quarters. So I put those underneath the lid. Then I'm going to place my light, and you can see, look at the scope of that light now. It's very good. I'm going to use the light fabric just so I can show you. And I'm going to place this on here, and look at that. It works really, really well. Now this is a small block, and you can see there's an indent in my lid. So it really does work better if you have something that's flat. If you're using a larger size block, my project box would work better for that. But for just a small project and I need to use a light source, sometimes we can hold it up to a window, but it's really hard to maneuver and to make sure when you're using one hand to hold the fabric and another hand to hold the paper and then another hand to try and clutch it and then another hand to try and glue it. We don't have enough hands. So this works really well. And just think, the money that you have saved on purchasing a Lightboard, we can buy more fabric, and we can do what we need to do in order to square up that block, position it for foundation piecing or anything else, applique, whatever quilting project we have in front of us. I am always trying to be joyful, but I will always be merry. Thank you so much for watching.